Today's video is going to be an overview on how to navigate your parent account through Fuel Education. When your son or daughter enrolled into the CVA program, both the student and the parent received log-on information. So parents, that went to your email that was listed in Schoology, and the email came from peaksupport@getfueled.com. So go ahead and search your email inbox for an email that's going to have your username and password. So I've entered my username and password as a parent now, and I come to the default page, which is the dashboard. This is on the right hand side. You can click on My Students. This is a very summarized version of progress. I would recommend that you click on the Peak Office with a filing cabinet. That represents kind of digging in further with specific information, looking at grades, how many minutes the student logged every single day, and other specific information. The next page that you're going to come on is this dashboard screen with the rings. And so the goal is that students are on track with their classes. At the bottom, you can type in either the first name or the last name of your son or daughter. Next, you would click on your son or daughter's name at the bottom of the screen. I've skipped over that for privacy issues for the student. And after you click on the name, I've scrolled then to the bottom of the page where all of the classes are listed. If a student has previously been in our CVA program, all of their classes are going to be listed here. So if we want to focus on the classes this semester, you're going to drop down and click on Active. Those are classes that are for this fall semester. Some classes are going to be in the spring, and they would be under the category Approved Classes. So for example, journalism is a half a year, so this student is going to take journalism in the spring, and in the fall semester that is paired with psychology, another half credit class. So if you're confused why there's maybe not all of the classes showing up, some classes are now in the fall if it's a half a credit, and some are in the spring. You know, your core subjects, they're going to be all year. Your sociology and your history class are going to be all year classes. So how to read this, course name, engagement category is important to look at. The teacher's information here, Mr. Hall is teaching these history classes or social studies classes. He is a Fuel Education teacher. These are going to be Fuel Education teachers on the Fuel Ed site. Start date, end date, the last time the student logged in, and their current grade in class. The next column, the percent column, that's what percent complete they are in. You know, we're just getting started, so these numbers are going to be very low as we progress, and we're at the end of the first marking period. That's halfway through the semester. Our goal would be that they were halfway through their courses. At the end of the semester, their current grade and their grade column, their average in the grade column should match, and this column should be 100% complete. And so our end date for our Fuel Education classes is January 14th. We're going to go ahead and we're going to click on the psychology class and take a look at information within a specific class. So now that we clicked on psychology, we have 3 tabs here that we're going to navigate. The progress tab is how many minutes the student has spent last week, how many minutes and hours total, along with the last time they accessed, how many points so far in the class, and their current grade. If we click on assessments, there we can see what has been submitted so far. And the last tab is activity. That's time-stamped each individual time the student goes in and out of the class. We are going to look at the assessment tab, and we are going to compare that to the pacing guide. Students can access pacing guides by clicking on Groups in Schoology, and within Groups will come up a Carlisle Virtual Academy group. On the left-hand side, they click on Resources. There is a video here that explains pacing guides and how to use pacing guides, along with folders that have all of our CVA classes in them, and their pacing guides that keep them on track for their Fuel Ed classes. So I'm going to show you a screen for the pacing guide for psychology. So I've clicked on, under Social Studies, the Psychology folder, and here's the pacing guide, which is an Excel document. When it loads, it's very tiny. You have to download it. After you download it, it's going to come in the bottom left-hand corner. This is only something that needs to be done in the fall semester when the school year starts, and then again the middle of January when the spring semester starts. I have customized this page 1, tab 1 in Excel with all of our dates for our holidays and a start date and an end date that matches our semester. So students and parents can click on Part 2, Course Information, and this is the pacing guide that's going to keep you on track with your Fuel Ed classes. So the start date, the first day of school, if you scroll down to today's date, the student should be working on, in this psychology class, assignment 1.04, graded assignment. So if you are doing a progress check at home with your son or daughter, you're going to compare this pacing guide to the grade book in your parent account, or if you sit down with your son or daughter, their grade book on their student account. The student account is going to have more information and going to have teacher comments, so sometimes it's beneficial to sit down with them to see the big picture. For example, maybe on your parent account, you see that your son or daughter earned a 0 on an assignment, and that's all you see is a 0. If you would sit down with them and look at their student account and their teacher comments, maybe that 0 is just a placeholder because the student didn't follow directions and the teacher's asking to resubmit it. Maybe the teacher couldn't download the document that was submitted, or maybe they submitted the wrong assignment. So to get the big picture, it's beneficial to sit down, compare the grade book to the pacing guide to make sure they're on track. Your CVA mentor is also going to do this with you every other week to help you maintain that you are on track.